Now that we have our data, we can look at making a graph. So what I like to do is just select the data that I want to graph and then go to insert and then chart. And then we're always going to use scatter, right? That's the only thing we do. And sometimes we'll want to show the data points. If we have a bunch of data points, then I usually go with a smooth line. All right. I don't have a lot of data points, so I'll go with something like that. And so we'll want to add a proper title tool. It's easier to put a title after you have the data and you kind of talk about the trend. So the other thing is that the numbers are there, but you want to add axis titles. So just clicking add chart element um, under chart design, and you have full kind of design. If you come here, you can select, you have a bunch of things. It's kind of, I think it's redundant where you have it, and then you can select here, you have a bunch that you can add to it. All right, the grid lines, I hate having the grid, so I often delete it out and just to let the data show the trend that I want. All right, so now that I have this, I can actually just copy this over, paste this in, and oops, let's do the length. All right, and so now that we have it, we'll put the title. Most people just restate the axis labels, and it really serves no purpose. And what you want to try and do, often we're wanting to show a trend. So, like, what is the trend with increasing length in inches? Um, the length in centimeters increases. All right, something like that. Just like often you're making a graph to demonstrate something. Why? Because we have this in a data table and it's really hard to see the number, right? And well, to see the number, but see the trend. So here we can see a strong linear correlation that goes with that increasing length. Very little error, blah, blah, stuff like that. Okay, so another one that you'll want to have is a caption. So you'll insert a text box. So come over here. Where is text box? Huh. No, I'm not seeing it. Usually I have it here. Insert sheet. Oh, illustration. Is it? Well, you can do this and then add text to it. So I'm not sure why. So all right. Sorry, got a bunch of things going on. So here, insert text, and that's where the text box is. So once we have this, figure one, and now we have more room to talk about the you know describe the data. Again, think about you're making this figure to demonstrate something. What is that something? So the title, I like for it to have the overall result, and the figure caption just puts more subtle nuance into it, conditional kind of states for it. All right. Um, that gives us our table figure, and now if we can have multiple, it's not very common we try to show multiple, but you can select all the data and then show the trends, and we'll see series one, series two, you have that. Whenever they're very different magnitudes of number, the other one's buried, so you can actually change that. So format data series, and you have options. Do you want it on the secondary axis? when I click this, now we can see one goes with one goes the other. So you need to add a shape that kind of tells you to so I would have a blue arrow that points me to this axis, and then you can copy this, change the color, and have it go with the other axis to kind of indicate which one goes. All right. And so here we can see where both of them increase, but one increases linear, one increases exponentially with it. All right. Stuff like that. So that gives us the title, all of it. Oh, one last one I want to show you is that I don't know if I just did that as I had a new one. Oh, two more things is if you select the data and then add a trend line. This is very common when we're trying to showcase a trend. Then we want to add a trend line. Often linear is our most common one, and we're going to add then the equation and R squared value. So move it out of the way so it's clean, not away from the data. You can clearly read it. You can change the formatting on it just like anything else, and have that value. What was the other thing I was going to show you? So we have this now. Oh, one other one is that actually copy and paste this. So we'll do it one way, and instead of having the two types of data, if I paste this now, we can see that's the linear one. If I select the data, then when the computer is running slow, I have trying to record things. Why? If I scroll over here now with the data selected, it should show me what data is being used. Come on. I don't know why it's going away. Something's weird. Usually when it's the fact that I'm using the program to record that's not wanting to stay up. But usually it'll have the data highlighted that I am referencing for the graph. And so then you can click and just move that over. So if I copy it, and why would I do that? Because then all the formatting is there, the length. If I were to change the axis length by clicking on this, and it'll pop up. I could change the number. I can set this to 100, so they're all scaled the same. So instead of making a new one, then by copy and paste, all those formattings remain the same. Let's see if it's going to do it now. Nope, still not showing it. So that is the graph. And lastly, I showed you before that you can grab this and then copy it and then paste this into Word and or OneNote or something like that to do your lab reports. And so the same thing then with the figures, instead of like snipping or cropping the image, just grab it like that and then just paste it as an image. So if you do paste, you'll see you have the option just to paste as an image. And what's nice about that is now it's locked in. When you grab this, and if you put it into Word, it tries to be smart and help you. And then if you go and you change some numbers in here, it'll mess up your graph. All right. But by having it as an image, it's locked in and it doesn't do that.